Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. I know you're hearing the Daisy and saying, but what is that going on there on the Now Morning Show? Guess what? It's the launch of Parang Season 2022, and this morning I want to welcome the PRO of the National Parang Association as well as the project leader of the Instrumental Showdown, which you have to find out more information about. But Joanne Briggs and Cassell George, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome.
Happy Daisy Friday.
That's what it is, it's Daisy Friday.
It is Daisy Friday.
Yes,
Because
Go ahead. Tell me more about Daisy Friday.
Okay, so what happened is that we have started the season with Parang History Month in September. And what the plan is to have, like, every week we dedicate time to some of the icons and some of the people, the paranderos who have contributed to the art form.
Yes.
The theme for this year is Parandera, because we are looking at the women in Parang, particularly since the tradition has always been one set of men. Right? Every time
I
you
find you say that with a kind of venom.
Yes, it must be venom because the women had to stay home, put up the curtain, make sure that ham and black
I'm gonna disagree because for me, right, one of the biggest paranderas is Daisy was it?
Of course.
Like that is, when you talk Parang, you talk Daisy. When you talk Parang, you talk Charlene Flores.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just saying for all the people I know big in Parang is women. So I find that venom you have inside of you there.
Yeah, but back in the day, before
Pre-Daisy.
Pre-Daisy, right? Pre-Daisy, pre-Gloria Alcazar, pre-Charlene Flores.
That's real back. So is we talking about Adam?
We're not talking about Adam, we're talking about Lara Brothers, right? You know, you had Sotero Gomez, you had a whole set of legends, and we're not disputing that, right? Because they were great, but at the same time, we need to give the women in the art form their spotlight. And we thought that we could pay tribute to the women who have contributed. Like we start today, this week was Daisy. So, and it's on social media campaign that we're doing because we're going full throttle into the season from October. So we just kind of warming up.
So the season starts officially in October?
Well, kind of, yeah. You can say like
kind of.
Because we say, no, because I usually market, the season starts like the Saturday after Republic Day.
Right.
That's how I usually mark
That's
it,
the 100 days.
Yeah, the 100
That's the 100. That's what happens. We also start on that day, sweet 100. But you go ahead.
Right. So that is how I usually market.
Right.
But in recent times, because we want to generate more enthusiasm into the art form, because you know, at one point in time there was a little wane, right? And then we're trying to kind of encourage the aficionados to say, hey, we have Parang all year through, you know, and we're just pushing it a little further in September because people say, but Christmas ain't reached yet, or we now start in September. Parang is quite in December. I say, no. Parang can be played anytime.
All through the year.
Anytime. It's just like soccer, you can play Parang anytime, right? So we do this from September, and we start moving it up to go into October, November, December. So we're taking it in smaller steps to build up the energy for the celebration. Yes.
All right. So we kick it off with the History Month, basically in September. So Daisy Voza is being celebrated. Who else is being celebrated?
Gloria Alcazar is being celebrated. I have Clarita Rivas down as well, right? We also have some of the younger ones, like Claire Piper from Carib Santa Rosa. I'm also looking at Jenny McPherson from Los Tocadores. You know, those voices have been prominent in a lot of the lead singers who perform right now because you're hearing some of their music still being performed. Of course, there are also the compositions that they will do, right? Their own compositions, but in anybody's repertoire, that is what you are going to find. You're going to find those voices.
And it's happening, you said, on social media.
Yeah, on social media.
Where can we find this celebration?
So we have it on Facebook. We also have it on Instagram. And from time to time, we could try a little TikTok, you know, to get people to come on board.
Parang, you must have a little TikTok. Come on, man.
Not a TikTok, not a TikTok.
A TikTok.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
See what you did
Because I can see because he's the project leader of the Instrumental Showdown. He sees what I did there. What is the Instrumental Showdown?
Okay, so in 2021, we started this initiative to give a spotlight to paranderos because most of the times you would only see them in bands, but we wanted to highlight the individuals themselves. So we started this initiative called the Instrumental Competition, the Instrumental Showdown Competition, where we asked them to come and perform a 2-minute piece in front of judges, and we decide who could play the instrument the best.
The best of the best.
Yeah, so it's the best of the best that come into play.
Okay.
Last year, however, it was obviously on social media. But this time around, for this year, now that things have reopened, we're actually going to different places in Trinidad and Tobago and having a grand show with rounds, and we're going to go down to the finals. So
all right, so I confused, right? Because for me, when you're playing an instrument, it kind of boils down to, yes, skill level is a part of it, right? But I think technique is a big part of it as well.
Huge part of it.
And people have varying techniques and how, like I've seen paranderos and paranderas play the instrument and hold it differently.
Yeah.
They know, I mean, they all get the same parang sound out of it, right?
Yeah, but it's how they caress the strings.
Exactly.
So is that what we're judging, the caressing of the strings?
Yes. So we judge their proficiency, their interpretation, and their performance.
Ah.
So, for instance, we have a quattro competition where we just placed it into the pitched accompaniment discipline. So you have all the quattristas in Trinidad and Tobago. They play it differently. So we have the judges now trying to determine who played it the best, understanding their proficiency and interpretation of it, because interpretation is the most important part. Because how Joanne interpreted the quattro, I may not do the same.
Right, but and that's my point, is that if it is you'll interpret it differently, how do I judge that? How do I say this is right and this is wrong and this is better than...
But that's the thing, when you play parang, there's
no right
there's
or
no,
wrong.
exactly.
So how we have a competition?
No
This is
right
the
or
part I'm
wrong.
confused about.
No, but
how are we going to, what's the rubric for this competition? How are we judging this competition if it is a matter of interpretation?
Proficiency, because you must have a level of proficiency. You must be proficient in the instrument.
In other words, you can't play at 2, 1, 2, 3.
And then I'd be like, oh, no, that's
not it. So if it is 3 chords, you should be able to be able
I'm
to.
singing a whole song with 2 chords.
Yeah, but that was Sprakalan. That was right, but what I'm saying is, if it is that you are playing a quattro and you're playing with 3 chords and the transposition is 1, 2, 3 all the time, is how do you make an arrangement? It's like panorama,
exactly.
right? So if it is you have a tune and you have your arrangement, all stars playing something, right, different from what Despers would play. It's the same thing applies to when you're playing a quattro.
Exactly.
Okay. I will tell you now. You see, I see that a proper explanation.
Great. Perfect.
So what they winning when they win this instrument?
They win some money, bro. Some money.
I say some money. How much money are you talking?
I shouldn't give it out.
Why not? I think it might encourage more people to take part in the competition.
Well, registration has now been closed.
Oh,
so
darn it.
Yeah, we know this was coming too.
So is it only quattro or is it?
No, there are several disciplines. So what we try to do is to categorize them to an extent. So we have the lead instrument discipline, where you have varying lead instruments in parang. So you have the mandolin. I mean, most people would know the mandolin, but you could also play a quattro lead instrument. You could play guitar, you could play the tres, you could play the charango, you could play pan, you could play flute.
As far as I'm concerned, the lead instrument in any parang band is the box bass, dog. Because they have no thing anybody else has followed. Dum, 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 dum. That's the lead instrument. That's all I just hear.
Totally understand.
Yeah, bassman, so that is what
exactly. That's it.
That's probably it.
And we
have a bass competition and talk competition.
So we have the percussive accompaniment.
Right.
And under percussive accompaniment, we have the box bass and we have the marac. Because again, those may be the 2 popular instruments.
And that one is difficult.
Of course it is.
That is technique.
That's the interesting thing, because when you see these people go up on stage and play these instruments, like for the knockout round that we had last week, I was mind blown by how these people, and they were playing these, especially the marac. And I want to encourage Trinidad and Tobago to come. Our next show.
Where we coming? Where we going to see it?
17th.
Right, next week Saturday.
And we are going to Black Sails Restaurant and Bar in Southland.
Okay.
So we're going down in the Mecca of Parang. And we
Mecca.
want them to come down.
Yes.
All right. So it's what time does it start?
It starts at 4 p.m.
And how do you have to get tickets, or you can just show up?
Well, you come and you pay by the door.
How much is it?
It's $40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, $40 by the door.
All right. And this is which round? This is one of the rounds.
This is the semi-final.
Oh, it's the semi-final.
So now things have intensified. Yeah.
All right. And it's semi-final for each of the individual instruments.
Now, besides the individual instruments, we have also the ensemble.
Okay.
What we did, we combined the same instruments that we call with the categories, and we put them in an ensemble and tell them, here what? Play something for us for 3 minutes, and you have to follow these specific guidelines. So for instance, in the semi-finals, they have to play a cut strum, which some people might say merengue, and a Castilian, and put that in a medley for us.
Now, Castle, I am upset that you didn't walk with a quattro to be able to describe and explain this thing properly. Why are you treating me so bad? It's Friday.
I know. Daisy Friday and we are no parang.
And you walk with a little quattro, a little talk, nothing to say, well, this is how you just do the cut. We call it the cutthroat?
The cut strum.
Cut strum. Sorry. Hey. My apologies. Freudian slip. Sorry. All right, so the custom, you have the different techniques and the different styles.
Yeah.
Is reading music and music literacy a part of this competition?
No, it's not.
Is
It's
it a
not.
part of Parang in general?
Of course. Have you ever heard about the orchestra on part?
Well, yes, that's what I wondered. How come, it's
Orchestra
not part of
Nacional,
the, how come it's not part of the competition then?
Well, I can't say why, but I think we were just trying to, because we're not encouraging persons. Okay, a lot of paranderos can't read music.
Right.
Right? They normally play by ear.
Yeah.
So
And by root, yeah.
most of the times you're not going to get them in a competition, say, hey, read a piece of music for me.
But is that where we want to get to?
To an extent, yes.
All right. Well,
Music literacy is very important
Yeah.
because if it is we want to carry the art form further. I mean, yes, from the tradition, people is play from by root or by memory. Yeah,
Yeah.
right? What happens next is that we have to make sure that we are able to keep the music and store it and archive it,
course, of
right? And
course.
that is what helps. And before we wrap up, I
Quickly.
just want to say very quickly, November, we coming up with another concert. Divas.
we'll come back in November. We're
Yeah,
have
we're
some
coming
more.
back there, but I
Only
have to
make a
tell you,
difference, make a
save the
difference
date.
today now because together we aspire, together we achieve. On behalf of Ayinka, Kimberly, Rawkus, we gone. Bless and sanctify.
Bye.